All right, so this is the second part of the video that I'm making for Venus and Virgo. And I'm going to talk about two aspects. This many, two. And we're sort of taking Venus as being a personal planet, because remember, Venus is one of the three personal planets. So we have Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And we can sort of correlate those, tie those, bridge those with the outer planets. And so Venus is the was considered the lower octave or lower version of Neptune. Venus is can be lust or love for money, our sort of general senses and attractions to things on the sort of home plate, on the the earth plate of our sort of of the world that we're living in, and what is just common for human beings that's not necessarily the most spiritual. Neptune is very, very much about the higher form of love that can be experienced through an altered state of being, that can be experienced through connecting with the divine of some sort and really raising your vibration and tapping into a much higher frequency. So, Venus in Virgo is forming an opposition to Neptune. Now, in August last month, we had Mercury forming an opposition to Neptune, and I have a little video that I made about that. And Venus, Neptune, just those two alone, this is happening on September 24th. The real themes of, we have to look at the shadow sides of Neptune, which is illusion and deception. Neptune was discovered at a time where you could take a little button and press, the, feature that will allow you to take a picture, to take a photograph. And the photograph was invented at the time of Neptune. And there's a really, really good video by an astrologer who talks about when Neptune was discovered and how it got its character. And it's really, really insightful and in depth. And it goes into what went on at the time of the gold rush in American history. And so Venus opposite Neptune can be, maybe just that sort of kind, facade or charisma or layer that can be only at kind of, face value, kind of, I'm seeing this here, but not necessarily something that's really real and true. So, it can look at, this transit can look at, denial of you sort of floating up into the fantasy land, floating up into the dream world of viewing the birds and the clouds and the flowers, and everything is just gorgeous. Where we lose sight of the real beauty and the real possible issues that are recurring down to earth. And this can be in any area of life, be it any kind of work, any kind of sort of downgrade of a promotion that you received, or of falling out of you and then another person in relationship at an extreme, or any relationship issue where you and another person may not see eye to eye, where there's a sort of separation going on there. And you could be, you could be, I don't want to, I kind of thinking about how predictive or prescriptive I make these videos. But it may be easy to get swept up by something, that looks good, that may, appear very inviting, that in the end, maybe it's art, like a beautiful portrait that you then discover later, doesn't really hit home for you, doesn't impress you, doesn't wow you, or just maybe a book that you're investing into that you discover later that you're not a fan of, and then this is boring and this is torture to have to read and get through this. And finding what you are creative with. It doesn't have to be just music, singing, writing, even painting, sculpture. It can be designing a map. It can be maybe, gardening in a type of way, and being able to raise plants. In September in the northern hemisphere, when we're moving into fall time, and down the southern hemisphere when things are springing up for them. So any fall plants or spring plants, to sort of create your garden of dreams, and the different varieties and tastes and textures of different fruits and vegetables. So that is that. And then on September 26th, we have Venus trining Pluto. And Venus trine Pluto is a wonderful time to go after what you feel passionate about. Any kind of, it doesn't have to be just, I'm drinking, hot sauce right out of the, bottle. I was seeing a skit video for Scorpio, and basically what was going on was that the people involved, one of the the person who was acting like the Scorpio was you pouring on a lot of hot sauce right from the bottle, and that sort of describes the the kick and the heat, and the intensity that Pluto and Scorpio as a sign and a planet can relate to. But Venus trine Pluto can really be just, loving somebody for who they truly are, making amends with somebody, um, deepening your connection, allowing yourself to feel that connection and that synastry between one person and another. And this could be as simple as going out and having, an ice cream with that person, or it could be, working with them on a project and realizing that the experience is more than working on that project alone, that they may have guidance or wisdom to teach you. And, finding a task that you want to achieve and digging into it. Finding something that you're interested in, finding something that, wows you at this moment, or any, work that you want to get done, or any, type of, like a bed that you want to build, anything that you want to build. It can be wonderful for investing in those kind of things to really, um, just invest your time, invest your energy. Very, it's a great time to be very determined and focused on that thing. But with the North Node in Taurus, it can be also taking the small steps and slowing down, taking a break, not being in a rush to complete things, and knowing when to stop and take a break and do something else when it's just not worth it, when your eyes can't focus on a text or whatever. Knowing when to stop, and then know, okay, I feel like getting back to this. Well, then, utilize your time and get back to it, especially if you're under a deadline of some sort, like you have to get this task done, of whatever kind. So that is really this transit. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell, and like this video, share this, and, well, enjoy.